Okay, so good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining our webinar this morning. The aim of today's session is going to be to talk you through the back end of the website that we've been working on so that you can really boost your profile and make the most of the information that you're putting out there for buyers to see. There is quite a bit of information in today's webinar. So what we will do is make sure that we're sharing all of the information afterwards. We will send that in an email to you. There's also a couple of extra bits of information that we can share with you. So we'll talk you through now. Any questions that you have as we're talking through today, you can actually ask those on the webinar. We will have a little bit of time at the end, but we'll answer what we can while the webinar is happening. If we don't get to your question, then it's something that we'll follow up with you afterwards because we'll have the information to do that. So just to kind of run through what the agenda is going to be this morning. So we're going to talk through a few learnings from last year. We're going to go through the website and setting up your exhibitor profile, about the community and the work that you can do with the networking. We'll touch on Showcase Connect, but there's probably more coming on that a bit later on. We'll go through the timelines of when we expect to see things happening, and then just a bit on support. And as I said, any questions that you have. So just to really touch quite lightly on this, because it's stuff that hopefully lots of you who have been at Showcase before, you might know already. But last year registrations worked slightly differently. This year, Georgina will kind of talk you through how team members get added to the Showcase profiles. But we're doing it in a way to make sure that there's a really clear distinction between exhibitors and buyers. Just to mention, loading and password recoveries has been work done on the back end just to kind of speed that kind of stuff up. App release date, we will talk about that in more detail in a little bit, but we are hoping to release that a little bit earlier this year to give people more time to perhaps download it. And the interactive map. So lots of work has been done on this for the app. And it's really to make sure that the interactive map can really help people navigate their way around Showcase itself. So just to show you, this is the website. This is what it looks like. Hopefully you've all been on and had a look at our new branding for 2024. Lots of the tabs are already there and available to look at, but do have a look around. And again, so any questions you have about anything that's on there, let us know. So I'm just going to hand over to Georgina now. Georgina works on the website and she would be your main contact for anything website related. So Georgina, just for you to talk through.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. Just briefly, I know a lot of you are returning exhibitors, so some of you kind of know what's going on for your profile. I'm going to keep this as simple as I can. For myself, start with your company logo, so you can see there where it is. I know some people want to put an image in here, but if you can put your logo, it really catches people's eyes, when they're scrolling down through it. So when you get access to your profile, we will have added in your company name. Make sure it's correct. If you want to change it, email it to myself, but email it exactly as you want it so that we have it correct. And then just, take a couple of minutes and fill in the about. Most of you have a website or a Facebook, you'll have a little blurb. You can copy and paste that. You don't need to come up with something new. You can just put that in there for a continuation. Go down, have a look at your address. I know some people don't like to put up their addresses. Some of you might be home-based, but put in your county. Put in, you're from Wicklow, you're from Dublin. Put in the area you're from so that at least they know, you're Irish, you're local. Your email address can only be changed by ourselves in the back end. So same as your company name. Email your email address to me. Make sure it is exact, because it will literally be copied and pasted across. You can see at the site there where the social links can be added. Don't panic if you don't have every link. Fill in what you have, but don't panic. You don't have to go create a LinkedIn. You don't have to go create a Twitter. You don't have to create something if you don't wish. And one thing, as you can see, I wrote it there, make sure you save. So even if you want to do it after every section, just make sure you save as you go, because if you click off that page to go to do the next thing, it's gone. So please just make sure that's done. So the next thing is to add products. So over at the side under your profile info, you click on your products. Do the same as you do with your profile. Add a photo. Now there is a limit of 50k or 50 MB megabytes for your photos, and it is a square format. So just be mindful of that. You might have to change or edit your photos. Add your photo, and then move over, do your product names, add your categories. I know the urge is there to click every category so that you get seen, but please be very careful, because the more categories you put, the more you dilute it. And if you are trying to get to specific buyers, you're not going to get there if you have picked every category. You know, if it's jewelry, click your jewelry. Yes, it's a gift, but don't resist that urge to pick all of them. But just be selective with your categories. Make sure you hit the people that you want. And then you have your product description. Like I said, you have blurbs, catalogs on your website. Copy them across. Be continuous. You don't have to come up with something new. And do, like I said, save. Now, don't panic. It can take a couple of minutes just to filter through the system and appear on your profile. So just give it that chance to appear on the profile before you panic. It can take 2 or 3 minutes. It's very easily. I've panicked myself. Some of you might wish to add a video. You can do that. It's the same under profile information if you click the video and content. So it is limited in size. So that is something that has knocked a few people out. If it is a particularly large video, you might wish to add it to YouTube first, and you can add it as an embedded code. I've included just a click or a photo there where you'll find the embedded code on YouTube, because it's not as simple as just clicking the address box. So if you just go into that section under share, it'll give it to you. If you have any issues, do send it to myself and send me either the file or the link, and I'll have a look at it. And if it won't upload for myself, I send it on to the platform IT support, and they're very good at coming back to us quick. And if they can, they'll get it uploaded onto your profile. So don't panic. And if it's Joe, check your file type, whatever it's requiring, just make sure that that's what you're trying to upload before you hit that button. So yesterday I populated very quickly a profile for Event Professional Consultancy, which is the company I work for. It's not strictly, it's strictly fitting into it, but you can see there, I did it was half an hour. You know, I popped up a couple of our shows with the categories. Okay, they might not be bang on because there's not an exhibition show category, but you can see there I've put up the bare minimum at the moment. You know, I have 3 shows up. I put up a video, little blurb about the company, but the information's there, and I can go on to that now the whole way up onto the show and add to it. So like today, as much as you wanted to put as much information and get all your products up, go on and have a look. Get a presence. Have your 3, 4, 5 products on. Stick a video. Get yourself noticed. Buyers are coming onto the website. People are having a look. When we send out the e-zines, we're linking it to the website. We're getting people to come and look at exhibitors. Make yourself seen and make people aware of you, because we want the buyers to see you as much as you want the buyers to see you. So we want them to go and make that sale. So please, like, you can go on. I'll leave the event profile up there for a couple of days just so people can have a look. But it will disappear because it isn't a showcase. It isn't an exhibitor. One thing, as Vicky mentioned with the registration, we're trying to keep it very clean this year. So team members are not going to be added through the profile. Last year we found that some of the team members were getting mixed in with buyers, and you guys were getting suggested team members from other companies to matchmake with. So this year we are not having team members on the profile. You should have all got your manual. I know the girls have been circulating them, so if you haven't, it's on its way. And on that, there is a link for exhibitor registration. So please don't go on to the website and register through the link that is purely for visitors. We want to keep it as clean so that when someone pops up in your matchmaking, it's another buyer, it's not another exhibitor. We want to keep you guys getting the important people. So please don't register through the visitors. Use the exhibitor link. So this, as you might be aware, is one of the big features, and I've mentioned matchmaking a few times. So when you go on and put up your product categories, the buyer will also, when they are logging on now, are being prompted to fill in their categories. So for example, if you're a jewelry maker and you put up your jewelry, when a jewelry buyer comes on, when you click into the networking and matchmaking, you're going to get that buyer popping up for you. Now, when it does, you do have the option to favorite it or say it's not relevant. So if you favorite people, whether it's Weirs or whoever, they will appear under your favorites and you'll be able to message them or schedule meetings. If you do click not relevant, that information will filter through the platform. So it will learn what's relevant to you, what isn't relevant. Last year we did have an issue with some buyers talking about spamming. So don't go out and mass message all the buyers. I know the urge is there to make the connections, but the system will pick you up as spam. And if this is done, we will have to, and the platform will enforce a limit on the messages that you will be able to send a day. So just be mindful, because the last thing we want is buyers being annoyed and coming back and saying, so and so is spamming, is this real, is it not, I didn't sign up for this, and not wanting to use the platform. So just be very mindful when you are sending out the messages. Try to limit it so that we don't have the issue. The calendar and meetings will open in January. As Vicky said, the app will be launching in December, and in January then we'll have it open that you'll be able to schedule meetings or events during the show. And it'll run up, I think it'll finish on the last day of the show, but it will give you an opportunity to set a meeting for someone to come to your stand and sit down, or meet them for coffee to go through products, whichever. But we will be sending out more information as that all goes live. So that will be January, and we can always do another one of these in January if you guys wish. But yeah, look, I know the website and setting up your profile looks really scary. It's not. If you just follow the simple steps and do as you do, like half an hour will get your core information there. And if there's any issues, we're always here at the end of the email to help you. So I think that's all mine. So it's back to Vicky to talk about the app.
So we touched on this very slightly earlier, but the app will be coming into play, we would expect, towards the end of December. And just to say, if you feel that it'd be good to have another session then, which talks more specifically about the app, and actually more specifically around the networking and matchmaking, which will really start ramping up then in early Jan, then we can absolutely set something like that up. But just to kind of mention what the app will do. So it's going to be used for browsing. You can personalize it, so you can be favoriting places that you want to go, and you can see that through the app. You're able to message, chat, and meet with people through the app. Again, we talked about scheduling meetings on the website, but this again can be all done through the app as well. There is dashboards there where you can see sort of information and things that are happening. There's an interactive floor plan. So I mentioned this earlier, but there have been some improvements to the floor plan this year. One of the really great things is a lot of the functions of it can be used even if you're not connected to a network. So that makes life a lot easier when you're actually in Showcase and you're trying to find your way around. But I mean, obviously the point of improving that is to really make the navigation for people around the show itself much easier, and they can find you, get to where they need to be. And obviously, look, the app is mobile, so it's just really handy. We're going to really heavily encourage people to download that in the weeks coming up to Showcase, so that they can have everything kind of, at to hand that they need. So just to touch on some timelines. So the website is live. Obviously, we've talked about that already, and you can be updating your profile. We know there's already been work done on profiles, but obviously, the session today is really about making sure that you boost them as much as you can. So please do go on and have a look at what you've got on there, and if you can add to it, then all the better. The app will be live, as I've mentioned. We're hoping for late December. There's going to be more on that soon, and we can do, as I say, another session if needed. And then January, look, although a lot of the functions of the matchmaking, meetings and scheduling is live, really we'd expect for this to really sort of ramp up in January. So again, you know, if we need to talk about that more closer to the time, we absolutely can do. So just to kind of touch on support, you have your username and login. If you have any problems with that, do let us know. There is a video which we will share after this session, which can guide you through some of the points that we've spoken about. So you can use that if you find it easier to watch that. Georgina, who's been speaking to you today, is your contact. She can assist you with any queries as well. And there is her email just for ease, so you have it. And just to say, this session itself is being recorded. We will share it so you can look back on it, and we can share the slides with you as well. So you can use the slides that Georgina just spoke through as a really kind of handy go-to if you're doing stuff on your profile.
Can I just say thank you to everybody who has been working on their profile. I know I've had your head wrecked with emails and reminders, but just to say thank you very much for everybody who has worked on it. And it's really, we really appreciate it. It meant that when we launched the website, we had all your new information up there and your profiles, and it really did make all the difference. And just, yeah, just make sure you guys are very active on social media. So do make sure you share Showcase Ireland and the hashtags and all, because like the team are working behind the scenes and we'll share all that as well. So just, yeah, stick in the hashtag or tag us. But yes, just to say thank you so much for working, and I'm so sorry for all the emails annoying you. There probably will be a few more, but just thanks very much. I really appreciate your patience with those emails.
And I think touching on social media is really important. We'll be sending out some more information with those hashtags and things just to make life easier for you. Lots of you will already be aware and across it and possibly already using them, but we'll make sure that we share as much information as we can to make the kind of social side of things as easy and as shareable as possible, because there's obviously real merit in, you know, the more people sharing information, the better. So I don't know if there's any questions. If you do want to get in contact with us after today, as I say, we'll be sending out information. And if you have anything that you want to know or that springs to mind, please do get in contact and we'll endeavour to come back to you as soon as we can. I think that's probably it from me this morning and from Georgina. Is there anything else for you, Georgina?
No, I see Veronica has her hand up. I'm guessing she has a question, so if she wants to unmute and ask, or there's a couple of questions, so there's a couple of hands up. So Veronica, if you want to go ahead and ask your question, or can we unmute? I don't know.
Bear with me 1 second. There's an actual Q&A section, so you need to ask in the question section, I think, rather than raise your hand.
Okay, if you want to pop your questions in there, Veronica and Aoife, so we can answer them for you. There's a Q&A just at the bottom.
With that, I'm just going to, and actually we have your details as well. So look, we can get in contact with you after today, if we need to, and we can obviously answer any questions that you have. And also if there's information we think other people will want to know, we can share that information too.
Veronica, yeah, if you want to, you can use your name. You can put in your email address, or if you have an info one, it's up to yourselves, because your email is going to be out there. So it's preference. Some people have an info email for their company, some people have a Gmail or Yahoo or whichever it is. So look, it's completely up to yourself. If you do want to change your email, just drop it to me and we'll get back to you straight away. Aoife, we don't share contact information on a whole. So with GDPR and things like that, we won't give you a list of every person that's registered to attend. Company names will be provided, so we can tell you the name of the company that's registered to attend, but we will not give you the names of the individuals or the contact information for the individuals of who will be attending. Now, if they're using the matchmaking facilities, their names obviously will pop up and you will be able to contact them through the system. But no, we don't share that information with everybody. And also, if you get emails offering to sell you that information, it's scams. We do send emails out warning people, but just as it's been addressed here, don't buy them because it's a scam.
Those are the only two questions we have on the Q&A section. But as I said, if there's more questions that kind of spring to mind later, please do just get in contact with us and we'll come back to you as soon as we can.